Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Namaste. So we'll start our class. So yesterday we were discussing about what makes us unhappy. Where does this unhappiness takes place? Where is the location where unhappiness takes place? Where does it happens actually? So we saw different reasons. The reason can be the object, but only when it come in contact with the senses, one can feel the pain. But only senses is not enough. You need mind also. So mind coming in contact with the senses, you can feel the pain or unhappiness. And then too much effort, putting too much effort also can create misery or pain. And then finally, being in oneself is the only way one can get rid of this pain. So what is the way we can handle this now? This situation. The object coming in the contact of senses can create pain. Yes, it can create. So you need to reduce the contact. We are looking into each how one can overcome pain. Okay, in general. So you have to reduce the contact. So for that we have some methods, some spiritual practices, like as I told you yesterday, yama and niyama. That is the first two limbs of 8 limbs, out of 8 limbs, Ashtanga Yoga. Yama is ahimsa, satya, astheya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. I think you already studied ahimsa, non-violence, satya, being truthful, astheya, non-stealing, and being in path of spiritual, brahmacharya, and aparigraha, not accumulating things too much. Too much accumulation can give you the pain. So these are the things to be followed. And same way, niyamas, shaucha, cleanliness, santosha, being contented, sauta santosha, tapaswadhyaya, ishvara pranidhana. Tapaha is austerity. And swadhyaya, being in touch with the scriptures, studying, self-study. Ishvara pranidhana, that is surrender to the divine, not to have the feel that I am the doer. So these are the spiritual practices can help us to keep away from these objects coming in contact with the senses. Then what about mind? Then comes there the meditation. So meditation helps us to handle the mind, to discover the space between you and the mind. So meditation comes there. Then what about too much effort, excess effort? Because our idea is happiness is outside. I have to gain the happiness. That is the whole humanity is after. Now I am unhappy. If I have to be happy, I have to gain things. I have to gain so many things for my joyful life. So too much effort, one puts too much effort and goes after this action so much that he may forget oneself. So there we have to reduce the effort. Excess effort has to be reduced. So you see so many spiritual people taking up monk life, because I'm not telling you all have to take monk life. I'm just giving you the idea here, because not pushing oneself to gain things. The person who understands the source of happiness is not outside, it is within. So that person puts his effort in other direction, in spiritual, towards spirituality. So here when I say spirituality means towards the spirit, towards the oneself, to discover that truth. So less effort. So here one can take up the life of silence, and also samadhi. In this Ashtanga, we have samadhi also. So one can take to that practices. And finally comes being in one's own nature. So that is the one thing which can give you the permanent happiness. There is no break, because by nature, our own true nature is to be always happy. That we saw the example of deep sleep, etc. Without anything, any objects, whatever objects we think will give us happiness, but in the deep sleep, we don't have any object around us. We don't even have the sense of body. We don't have the feeling that I am the body also in the deep sleep. You forget everything. It is like death only. Actually, deep sleep is very much close to death. But something makes us wake up. That is something unique in the nature, that nobody knows how it happens, but there's so many things for that. Samskara means the unconscious, subconscious mind pulls you back, and all is there. So many things are there in that. So without any object, without feeling that even you are male or female, not having body consciousness, you feel joyful. How we'll know this? When you wake up, when somebody wakes you up and asks you, how did you feel? You naturally say, I was very happy. It was very nice. So that is one example to make us understand that being with oneself, being in Atma, is the thing for permanent happiness. So now, as I said, how long you want to be happy? For a period of time or any particular time? No, we always want to be happy. So first three things cannot give you the permanent happiness. The first three things, whatever, the object coming in contact, you try to follow some rules, spiritual methods, and then a mind, you take up meditation, and the third, you put less effort. All that you have to keep on doing. That is what the subject is. How long? Because only when you do that, you remain happy. If not, again, the sadness takes over. So this first three is temporary remedy. It cannot give you permanent remedy. Then what is the permanent remedy? Only being in oneself, knowing the self. That is the only way one can be happy. So then what about present, past, and future? What about the past unhappiness? It's already gone. You need not do anything. What effort can be put in this three kala, that is past, present, and future? So past is already gone. What about present? Here, very interesting that for us, present is not exactly what we have the idea of moment to moment. Here in Hindu philosophy, if you read some of the philosophies, you will understand for us, the present is the day you are born. One second. From the day you are born till the death is present. Very interesting. Like eating, you started eating. It's in the present. It can be half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, or whole day. It is in the present only. I am eating, right? So that way, like building a building, constructing the building, they have already started, and it will go on. It may take 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years. So that whole period of time is considered as present. And another thing, present life is called as Prarabdha. Prarabdha means which has already begun. The fructification of your karma has already begun. Whatever action you have done in your past is begin. So that Prakashya Arabdha means in Sanskrit, it has already begun. So it is like shooting the, shooting the arrow. Once it is already shot, it is gone. You can't do anything. So past is gone. You have no way to do anything for that. The problem is people tend to dig into the past and remain always sad and unhappy because of not understanding that it has gone. See, when I'm talking to you about this, I know it is not that easy to forget few things in life. Loss of life and all is not easy. It keeps coming to us, but still we have to overcome that because it is already the past. We have to understand that. Inside, in our heart, we should have this understanding, even though we have sadness in the mind. But within us, that understanding should be very clear. The past is past. And what about present? It's already there. So now only left hope for the future. It is like if you want to destroy the seed, what you can do? You can boil it and eat it, or you roast the seed. That's it. Once you take the seed and roast it, it will never germinate. So that is the whole idea of doing karma. The first portion of Veda, as I talked yesterday, the human beings are after happiness, not for present, for the future. That the life, what is going to come, if you look at all the scriptures, if you read, they always talk about future only. That after death, I should go to heaven. The next life, I should have a good life. So that is the understanding here. Then you will understand why rituals have been given in Indian culture. So many rituals we have. For heaven going, ritual is there. To earn a lot of money, ritual is there. To get good place, ritual is there. So to have a good life in future, they are doing the present ritual for future life. So the whole action is done in keeping with the future life, that my future should be the best, the good. But whatever we achieve, the thing is, it is all temporary. It cannot give you the permanent result. Even if you go to heaven, okay, we have so many stories in different philosophies. People have done elaborate rituals with the hope that they will go to heaven, and they also went. But it is that how they go due to the action, what they have done, they get the result called punya. The good action gives the result called punya, and that takes them to the heaven. And that punya is exactly like money. As you spend, like you have a bank account and you have a money and you have a credit card, debit card, you get the card and you keep swiping it. So when you swipe each time, the bank account comes down and down and down. And once it is over, then after that, you can't swipe. They will say, give us cash. You don't have money. So you don't get what you want. So exactly like here also, you do a lot of action, rituals, and you try to you go there, but that is not a permanent. So my teacher is to say, he is to make fun. The person may do a lot of rituals, etc., to go to heaven, to be happy in future. In that hope, he may get the heaven also. But after going there, he is not happy. You know heaven, right? Heaven means you will not age, you will not feel hungry, you will not have sweat, you will be always fragrant, you need not use deodorant or anything. It's always fresh life, no gray hair, nothing, all healthy body, red face, full of blood, everything. Anything you desire, it comes to you. All good looking women and men, they come and serve you. And there will be ocean of wine, etc. You need not go and stand in queue uh, for wine. You just have to just take a mug and have it. So that is and there will be always music going on in the heaven. It's so joyful. So having all this also, the man who has gone from the earth to the heaven, he is sad. Somebody asked him, hey man, after coming here also you are sad. What's your problem? He said, I'm happy that I have come here, but I'm not happy that my neighbor has come here. So this is, so my teacher used to say that. I'm happy that I have come, but I'm very sad. As I arrived here, I got a visa after so much struggle. After this corona, I got the visa to heaven. And after coming there, I see this man is walking. He's doing his evening walk. Oh my God, I just lost my all happiness, gone. So that is also temporary. The heaven also, that hope that I will be happy, that's also temporary here. So we saw the different situations, how one can feel unhappy, coming in contact with your senses, the mind, and then finally the self. Then who feels the unhappy? There is something in between. The person who identifies with the objects. See, very important here. The person who identifies with the object. This is mine. Okay. Like, for example, there is a car, exactly your car, and somebody comes and hits it. You get the heavy pain in your heart. That was a gift given by your someone who loves you, and it's such a beautiful color. You wanted a red color car and you got it as a gift, and you are so happy. And it's just a newly got car, and somebody comes and hits it in the parking, and you look at from the building, from your office, and you're so sad, as if somebody has hit you. You know, even a small scratch on the car, you will feel painful when it is very brand new. If children come and scratch it, how you feel, as if somebody has scratched on your heart, bare heart. So painful, don't do it, like that. So that is because too much identification with the car. That's my car. And after some time, somebody comes and takes the car away. You will be surprised. Oh my God, who is taking my car? Then, then somebody tells it's not your car, it is somebody's car. So immediately you feel relieved. Did you understand now? There is nothing in the car. It's about your attachment to the car. You have taken that object as you. You are identifying with the object so much. Once the pen, a simple pen, is in the shop, you have nothing to do with the pen. There are so many pens. Once you buy it, you start owning it up. This is my pen. Then nobody can touch it. Dare to touch it. Don't touch my pen. As long as it was in the shop, who cares? Even someone comes and throw it up, throws it. It doesn't matter. You don't even look at it. Nothing happens to you. But the time you pay it and you give a word, it's my pen. That's it. Then nobody dare to touch it. Finished. Why? Because you have identified with the object. So same way, you can identify with the senses also. That senses belongs to me. Belongs to me is fine, but it's like identifying senses are you. You are the problem is you are in the car and you own up the car and you say, I am the car. That is the problem here. Actually, when you drive a car, you become the car. All of you may know because all of you may be driving the car. Once you get into the car, you become the car actually. That's why it's so easy, smoothly you drive and all that. Because your mind pervades the whole car. You know the back and front and everything, you will know that. You identify with the car so much. So same way here, senses by itself, they are matter. And they have their own ways of working. It is very natural, all the senses. And you cannot increase, there is a limit for everything. Like you have taste buds. I don't know how many taste buds, I think 30,000 taste buds or something is there in your mouth. Taste buds, yeah, you can check in Google maybe. Some thousands only, it is not less than that. So you will taste only that much. Like I heard dogs or cat, they can't see the colors. They don't see the colors. They can see only 4 colors and it's in black and white. They don't have all the shades that they can visualize. They don't have that capacity. But we have more than that. We can visualize so many shades of the color. So that power is given to that eyes. So you can use it. You can enjoy that within the limit. Within the limit. Of course, you can take care of it. You can put some effort to keep that vision well. That's all you can do. But you cannot increase the shades of color from that limit. This is all natural. In general, I'm talking. Okay. So too much identification with the senses can bring unhappiness. There is a possibility too much, and it is very true. Because anything happens to my body, it is to me. Anything happens to the car object, it is to me. I identify. That person who is identifying is the culprit. He is the thief within who feels sad and happy, who feels happy and unhappy. He is the person. That he is a Jiva. Jiva means one who feels I am small, I am individual, I am just the body, I am just the mind. The person who takes himself as body and mind, nothing else. For him, nothing else exists except body and mind. So that person will be always unhappy. He will be unhappy because nobody will be happy when things are going away from me. If I take myself as body and mind, the body is aging day by day. Whatever we have got has to go. Some people will say, okay, so can I accept it and be happy? There is an accepting philosophy also. Very interesting. We are not negating anything here. We are trying to analyze and try to understand this philosophy, what it has to say on it. So we have some time feeling that, should I accept everything? Here they don't say that actually. So there's one example. If situation has to be accepted, it is like a car coming towards you with the 200 kilometers per hour, very fast. Will you accept the situation? Let it come. You try to get away from that, right? You try to cross the road or you run away from there. Some effort is always there. So there is that is what here it is said. There is unhappiness, there is happiness, we accept it. So how one can get rid of this? What is the solution for this? That is what is discussed in this philosophy, in this book. So for example, if I am hungry, I'm not happy, no doubt. When I'm hungry, I'm not happy. And what I am supposed to do? I'm supposed to eat some food. As I'm eating, I'm very happy. And once I fulfill my stomach, I'm okay, I'm fine. Can this happiness remain always? No. After 2-3 hours, again you will feel hungry. So you have to eat again. So this is one way of fulfilling, feeling happy. So same way, any external source like mosquito bite or dog comes and bites you, so that is also can give you sorrow, unhappiness, right? So here in this philosophy, they start with the 3 types of miseries. So the names are in Sanskrit: Adi, Adi Bhautika, Adi Adhyatmika, and Adi Devika. Okay, don't worry about Sanskrit. This is reminding for me to understand. So all these unhappiness or the cause for unhappiness will be put in these 3 categories. The first thing is Adi Bhautika, means from worldly sense, from world you get unhappiness. Okay, from the world. And Adhyatmika, not feeling well, your organs are not working well, illness, different kinds of illness, those things. So those things also can make you unhappy. And what about calamities? When there is a lot of rain, etc., heavy flood, fire. So all this also can make me unhappy. So all these are put in these 3 categories: Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika, and Adi Daivika. So these are the three things can give us unhappiness. So here in this philosophy, we see that the action, the ritual is being condemned. Condemned means the rituals, the actions, the result of action cannot be permanent. That is what we see in this. Because when I am not happy, I have to do something, naturally comes in you. I have to do something. How can I get things without doing anything? I have to do. But the thing is, whatever you have done, for that, the result, will that result be permanent or temporary? Anything what you have got will be temporary. It has to go one day. That is the rule number one. Anything you have got has to go one day. Anything for that matter. Not only the objects, what we get from the world, that is obviously it is temporary. What about your own body? Can you say it is permanent? You can't say. Each day it is changing. Each day it is growing or changing. So we don't see the same person. Like it is said, the water, in the river, it keeps flowing. It is not the same water. It is different. So same way, everything is changing. So whatever you do for this changeful body will be temporary. You cannot have a permanent. And all these three ways of getting unhappiness. One is from the world, one is from the all other the diseases, etc., internal diseases, and one is like calamity, etc. So these are the pain already we have. So how one can get rid of this? Is there any way? Yes, by knowing the spirit. As I said, there is something which is permanent. So it is very, very beautiful philosophy. They talk about the creation, how this creation has taken place. Okay. So they have 25 principles. Through that, they explain what is this creation, how creation has come about. Now the purpose is to get rid of this temporary unhappiness. We want permanent happiness. So they say only by understanding that whatever I am trying is only for getting temporary happiness. It is not permanent happiness. Because if I think objects can give me happiness, that is wrong. It can give you happiness, but how long? Temporary. All the senses, temporary. The joy what you had when you were 16, 18, now there is a big difference. You see the difference, changes. And as you grow more older, you also see a very big difference. It has changed because it has its own limitations. So that also cannot be permanent. It's temporary. Then only the self can give you the permanent. Why? Because by nature, the self is happiness. So now, what I am supposed to do? I have to separate myself from the not real or the temporary. I have to separate from it. Whatever things gives me temporary relief, temporary happiness, I have to separate. So that the whole philosophy is based on that. How one can understand, through understanding, one can separate, one can get separated. I remember somebody was very happy because that person was going to get married. He's so happy, he's distributing sweets among everyone. And just opposite to that, there is a court, the registration court. There also one person is very happy. Then somebody asked, why are you happy? He said, today I got divorced. So one person is very happy for getting married, and another person is also happy for getting separated. So there is a happiness in separation also. You can't deny that. Coming in contact also is happiness. Getting away from something is also happiness. So here it is getting away from all impermanent things, total separation. Is this separation physically? No. It is all in understanding. It has to be as a clarity, cognitive. It has to be in your mind. The clarity has to come in your mind. So that's why Sankhya, now you understand very clearly. Sankhya means discrimination. You discriminate from temporary to permanent. What are the things can give me temporary happiness, and what are the things can give me permanent happiness? So they talk about Purusha and Prakriti, very well known for yoga people to have this word, to understand this. Purusha and Prakriti. There are two principles. Purusha here is spirit, consciousness. Purusha is consciousness, which is permanent. It will never undergo any changes, and no guna, nirguna it is. Nirguna means it is not under the spell of nature. It is independent by itself, and it is consciousness. That is what is called soul or self, all that. Okay, you can use the word soul also here, no problem, if you have the understanding what is Purusha means. So Purusha has many meaning. One is something which is within you, one who lives, one who is within you in the form of consciousness. That way also one can understand here. Pure ishati, Purushaha, one who lives inside you, inside this body. In that way also one can understand. So Purusha means can be self, can be soul. It is consciousness. Okay. And there is one more principle called Prakrati. Prakriti means nature. Nature. And Prakriti is with uh, I'm not getting the word in English. It is with the nature of Triguna. Okay, try to understand. If I get it, I will tell you. Sometime I miss the word because we learn only in Sanskrit. It is little difficult for me to bring out in English immediately. It will come. And it undergoes change. And it is a matter. It is not a consciousness. It is a jadam. It's a matter. So two principles, Purusha and Prakriti. If you have a pen and a paper, you can write it down, or you can check in the Google. There are beautiful maps there. You can see it. They have put arrow down and written so many things. So in your mind, if this picture is there, then it is very easy to understand what they are trying to convey us through this map. So Purusha, one principle, and Prakriti. They are two different entities. And Purusha is consciousness, Prakriti is matter. Yes. Prakriti is with attribute. Now I remember. Trigunatmika it is. With the attribute. Purusha is not without attribute. It is independent. Again, Purusha is independent. Independent consciousness. Prakriti, the nature, is dependent on the spirit, on the consciousness. And Prakriti is active. Purusha is passive. Purusha is passive. So sometimes, in Chinese language, they talk about yin and yang, feminine and masculine. That way also they connect. So my teacher used to give an example to explain in a simple way how to remember Purusha and Prakriti. Okay, Purusha is a man and Prakriti is a woman. Don't feel here feminist and all that. I'm just trying to make you understand, okay? Not to, nobody is inferior or superior here. Just for this subject I'm talking. So my teacher is to give an example only for students. So he will say, Prakriti is very active only when there is man behind her. So there's a lady whose husband is a commissioner of police of the city. Okay. And she's very active. Anything goes wrong on the way, she will just call the cops and say, what's this? You're not doing the duty and all that. She's very, very aggressive. But the moment her husband retires, she is very quiet, very quiet. So she is active as long as the husband is behind her. And he should be in the position that he can supply that, the energy to the wife. My husband is a commissioner or president. As long as he's there behind her as a support, she's very active. Is that clear? Purusha and Prakriti. And from Prakriti, one block for Purusha, one block for Prakriti. Then now the arrows has to come down and down and down. What and all things have come from Prakriti? We will see that. From Prakriti comes one arrow down, comes Mahat. Mahat means intellect. So now, as I said, three attributes. It is Trigunatmika. It is along with the three attributes. What are those? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. What is Sattva? I'll give you the color for it. You will understand. Sattva is white, and Rajas is red, and Tamas is black. This is the color. What is meant by Sattva? Sattva means something to do with knowledge, light, peace, care, love, spiritual, helpful. So these are the qualities of Sattva. And what is Rajas? Red, active, blood, too much action oriented. There, Sattva is knowledge oriented. So Rajas is active, action oriented. Like warrior is Rajasic. If someone has Too much rajas, he is called rajasic, means he is full of rajas. He is full of action. So if somebody who is a soldier, he needs to have lot of rajas. So his food also will be rajasic food, stimulating, stimulating food, too much spice, everything excess, too much spice, too much oil, too much, not oil, oil will make dull, and too much salt, etc. Stimulating food, anything which stimulates you, those things are called rajas. And then tamas. Tamas is something to do with dullness, dark, dull. Wine, drugs, these are the food to increase. Sleep, lethargy, lazy, tamas. So this quality is inbuilt in this nature. We all have these three qualities. If you want to be a studious person, then you have to increase sattva in you. If your lifestyle is for increasing rajas, then you cannot sit here for 1 hour. You have to do something. You cannot just sit and listen. What is the cause for unhappiness? What is the reason for happiness? How one can be happy? Oh my God, bullshit. I have no time, dear. This is not the work I should be doing. So you are rajasic. And give him 14 hours of work. He's so happy. Give him a laptop and ask him to work for 14 hours. He's so happy. And he will have one burger and something in hand and all kind of fast food and keep on working, active, and have one Coke in between to stimulate. Otherwise, he will feel sleepy. So he has to have Coke and eat something and work. So that is the thing. Now you can visualize Rajasic. Too much Rajas. Sattva. Get up in the morning, make warm water, put 1 spoon of honey. So this is all kind of sattvic life. Want to meditate, keep smiling, kind heart, loving person, caring person, peace, all that, attention, meditative, want to meditate, want to, spend time for yoga, asana. That is all sattvic. Want to go to gym and become muscular. Who cares about mind? Nobody looks at the mind, man. They look at the six packs. What is that? Rajas. Even if they have so much pain while walking and coming out of the gym, doesn't matter. No energy for anything. But that when they look at their arms, biceps, it should be bulged. It should be rocky, bulged and rocky cuts. That is the satisfaction. Inside, hollow, doesn't matter. Rajas, too much rajas. And yoga, 1 hour of yoga can make you feel so fresh and get connected to yourself. I'm sure you people all are yogis. You may be experiencing this. So that makes you get connected. So the asana is not a physical activity. It is not just a physical activity like a gym. It is more about alignment with your body and mind. Body, mind, and the soul, yourself, which helps you to connect. So this is all three gunas. qualities. Oh, okay. I got the word. Three qualities. Very good. Finally, I got it. So Prakriti is endowed with the three qualities. You are studying from a monk who lives in Rishikesh. Okay. So our lifestyle, our talking, our eating is very different. So sometimes it takes time. Even though I studied English when I was in school, it takes time to get it back. Tamas, I think it's very clear to you now. The picture is very clear. You should visualize that. Trigunatmika, three qualities. Then down comes the buddhi. Buddhi means intellect. It's also called Mahat. M-A-H-A-T. Mahat. It's called buddhi. So from there, the mind, intellect. Then from intellect, one arrow down comes ego, ahankara, ego. Once the intellect is there, then ego comes in. Very beautiful. The structure is so good. It's so nice. They have explained everything. So the Purusha, Prakrati, along with three guna, then the intellect, then the next is ahankara, ego, the I-ness. Here, ego means it's not egoistic, not in that sense. The person who takes himself as the doer, I am the doer, I am the body, I am the mind, who doesn't have the knowledge about anything more than that, who is stuck with the idea that he is a body, he is a mind. He doesn't care about who is the behind the body, what is consciousness. Is there anything more than the body? The person who is not bothered to know is an ignorant person. Is that clear now? Who is ignorant? Yeah. One who has this ego. So from ego, from ahankara, then the set of few things are there. One is mind. Okay. So see, in Sanskrit, it is very, very different. We don't have single word for the mind actually. We don't have one word. We have, we call it as a antakarana. Antakarana means inner instrument. It is called inner instrument. So we have the different faculties in this inner instrument. Mind is one instrument, one faculty. Manaha, buddhi, intellect is one faculty. Chitta is your subconscious or unconscious. And then ahankara, I-ness, the ego. So these are the four put together is called mind. It's not mind at all actually. It is inner instrument. Antaha karana, inner instrument. So that's why you see here little differently explained. One is intellect covered, then comes ego, I-ness is covered. Now, from that ego comes the mind. Mind is a recording faculty. It can record things. It looks at something, recognizes. That is the mind. Intellect discriminates. Ego identifies. Chitta, memory. Is that clear now? All the four faculties. So from ego, mind, number one, five sense organs of action, organ of action, hands, legs, speech. Okay, and from the where we leave the waste, the front and back, the anus and genitals, they're all organ of actions. Speech, hands, legs, and genitals and anus. They are called organ of actions. So the mind and organ of action, and then again 5 organ of perception, jnanendriya. This is called karmendriya. Karma means action. Okay. Jnana means knowledge. So perception through which you get knowledge. So they are like ear, skin, the sense of touch, nose, the sense of smell through which you get knowledge of smell, and tongue, taste. So ear, skin, eyes, tongue, and the nose. These are the organ of knowledge, perception. We will again go back to our chart. So it will stay in your mind what this chart is all about. Okay. So from ego, this one group is coming. One more arrow from the ego. 5 subtle elements. It's called tanmatra. 5 subtle elements. One is by itself, it is okay. It is not dependent on anything. So Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha, it's called. Okay. The Sanskrit is for me. Shabda means sound. Sparsha, touch. Rupa, form. Rasa, rasa means taste. And Gandha, smell. These 5. It's also called a rudiment of subtle elements. Subtle rudiment elements. Yeah. Before undergoing any change, I think rudiment. Is that clear? The group of 5, 5, and 1. That is mind, 5 organ of action, 5 organ of knowledge, perception. Here, 5 subtle elements. Okay. And from that 5 subtle elements, 5 gross elements. This is the final now. 5 gross elements. What are those? Space. Akashat, Vayu, Vayu, Agni, Agni, Apaha, Apa, Prithvi. This is in Sanskrit. Okay. Akasha. Akasha is space. Akashat, Vayu is air. A-I-R. Air. Agni. Agni means fire. Apaha, that is water. And finally, earth, Prithvi, earth. These are the 5 gross elements. So this is the creation, how creation happened. What is the reason? What is the connection here? Okay, so please contemplate on this. This is the whole philosophy. This chart, if you remember, it is very easy to understand what they are trying to say. And how one can really get rid of unhappiness. What is the cause of unhappiness? Where is the problem there? What is Purusha? What is the connection between Purusha and Prakriti? And from Prakriti, what all things have come? What is that making us miss? Where we are missing? That we will discover in our next session. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.